Hey guys, Dr. Dex here. Welcome to the Dr. Dex podcast. I am here in Tacoma, Washington with my assistant. No, my what are you? This producer with my producer.
Your son.
Well, is that how you want me to introduce you?
Whatever, man.
Well, not only is he my son, he's our producer of this podcast, Calvin, studio man, DJ studio man.
There was one person who was catfishing women as you, and they said they had a picture of me, and they said that I was your assistant. So I take offense to that.
Man, yeah, that came out totally wrong. I apologize, Calvin. You're more than that to me. So
Yeah.
I couldn't even do this without him. So okay, wow, winded. I am here with Keith Camacho from Stellar Decks. Keith, so good to see you. Now, Keith's a friend of mine, but the first time I actually physically was with Keith, we were, I think, in my memory, and I could be wrong, Keith. Was it at a trade show of some sort,
Yes.
IBS or Deck Expo or something like that?
It was IBS.
Okay, and we were competing against a speed test on who could put together the TimberTech railing the fastest.
The impressions rail.
Okay, wow. See, I just keep my mouth shut and let you do all the talking. So, and I kind of got caught up with the host because he was cracking jokes, so I just stopped and stared at him for like 30 seconds.
Right.
It's like I didn't care about but you actually won an iPad, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Wow, man, that was a cool.
The good thing about that is that I was installing impressions rail like crazy back when I lived in New York. So I knew that railing system like the back of my hand. So that's why I was able to put it together so quickly.
I wasn't going to beat you anyways because I'd never used the product in my life.
Right.
Excuse me. So Keith, yeah. I want to hear tell us right now, like what you're doing right now. And then we're going to hit the rewind button. We're going to go way back and it's going to take us all the way across the country.
Okay.
But tell me what you're up to right now.
Well, right now I am currently building the business because as of I moved here from New York 2.5 years ago.
Where's here?
In Arizona, in Phoenix.
Okay.
I'm in North Phoenix. And
all right.
Just been building the business over again from scratch. I mean, we started back in 2010 in New York, and I built this business in New York, in the Long Island area, and we used to do somewhere in like the 5 boroughs, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, just to expand and broaden our service area. But then towards the end of me working in New York, we basically just stood in the Long Island area.
Okay.
And then I just got frustrated with the cold winters, the snow, and just the oversaturation of builders in such a small area that I just needed.
You dodged a bullet this winter, didn't you?
I needed to get out, and I needed a change. So a buddy of mine moved out here probably about 5-6 years ago, and when I came out here to visit him, I just fell in love with the area, and I did my homework while I was here, and I was able to find out that there are deck projects here, and I've been trying to get myself in the middle of every single project that's out there. So, yeah. I mean, We're doing decking. We're doing cladding. I'm currently right now doing pergola installs for 2 of the pergola guys out of here, the louvered roof ones. I'm one of the installers for them. So it's been good so far.
All right. So you're basically took Stellar Decks out of Long Island, and you have now Stellar Decks of Arizona,
Correct.
or of
Arizona, because we basically go all over the state. So we'll go down from Tucson up to Flagstaff, which is basically the city limits, and then if you go west to east, we go from Prescott to Payson.
Wow. Now I've been to Tucson and I've been to Prescott. I've spent a few days in Prescott, and that's more like a 4-season. I had no idea. I thought all Arizona was desert and cactuses.
No.
Prescott is a really nice, like 4-season type city.
Yes. There's no cactus. There's no desert. It's
like pine trees and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how
or
it
whatever
is.
kind of trees those are.
And
Crazy.
they get snow up there, so they have
Yeah.
seasons. You know, they have winter, spring, summer, and fall.
Yeah. Yeah. They get
Um,
snow.
but the ideal thing for me is I want to try and do most of my work in the summer up there because it's a lot cooler.
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I don't blame you one bit. Who wants to work in Tempe? Are you close to Tempe or what?
I'm about 45 minutes from Tempe.
All right.
Yeah. But
I
mostly the jobs that are in the valley area are really basically new construction. So anybody that's building out their backyard, if they're not looking to put down pavers or concrete or stone or whatever it is, we're doing decking. And it's starting to pick up. It's starting to really ramp up with that. So
well, especially with like the cool touch technologies that some of these deck boards, especially like the TimberTech and AZEK, even on those 110 degree days, you know, you can still walk on it in your bare feet.
That's what we've been pushing. I've been pushing mostly the TimberTech AZEK, you know, the advanced PVC. Yeah.
Likewise, yeah. It's hard to go wrong with something. When you find something that works, man, it's hard to get away from it. Hard to get into something else,
I mean, just in my personal opinion, you can't get any better than that decking. You really can't.
Right?
You can't.
I know. It's all I do.
Yeah.
I bleed that stuff. I mean, I'm probably going to die from PVC exposure, but I've got micro layers of PVC in my blood already, I'm sure. But hey, not only do I like to use it, but I like to craft it. And it's an excellent medium. Like it lets you can have your will with that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you say, manipulate, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it takes some punishment, man. A good deck board that can take a lot of punishment and still look that resilient after you've manipulated it, it's a pretty good product.
Absolutely.
So we're going to get into all that. But I want to hear a little bit about your earlier years. And were you born in Brooklyn or where were you?
I was born in East New York, Brooklyn, to Italian mother and a Puerto Rican dad. My grandparents were entrepreneurs, so what they did is you know, like state fairs, bazaars, feasts, stuff like that. So my grandparents had a business like that, and they were in the food service business. So my grandfather took, you know, one of those yellow school buses and made it into a pizza bus, and then my grandmother took like a regular box truck and made it into a Zeppeli and Calzone truck.
Ooh, I love calzones, bro.
And what they used to do is they used to travel, you know, within the tri-state area, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey. They would do state fairs. They would do bazaars, feasts, all that stuff. So that's how I grew up in my, you know, younger years, was just traveling.
Cool.
You know.
So did you learn how to cook a really mean calzone?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, bro, how come I've never known this about you?
Well,
I've never known Keith can cook a pizza, but better yet, he can cook a calzone. Yeah. Dude, I will every time. I don't care how good your pizza is. If you've got a good calzone, that's what count me in. Yeah. That's what I want. I don't know why, but I do. I dig them, man. Like I always opt in for a calzone for some reason.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're awesome.
So, cool. So in your grade school year, was this in your grade school years when you were doing this?
Yeah, this was in my grade school. I went to a Catholic school called St. Michael's. I was also an altar boy when I was younger.
Oh,
so
okay.
we used to do Christmas Mass and Easter Mass and stuff like that. So, you know, being raised in a Catholic household, you know, that's what we did, you know.
Okay.
And then we got older, and then I moved out of Brooklyn, moved into Queens, and I lived there for about 15 years. And that's where I spent my 8th grade year to my 3rd year in high school.
Okay, so Queens. So is that your parents moved to Queens?
My mom moved us to Queens, yeah.
Okay, so your mom moved to Queens. You moved with her, and you're in 8th grade when that.
I'm in 8th grade, correct.
Okay.
So I'm starting a whole new area and a whole new school. You know.
That's tough. Okay, so answer me this: your school system. I ask everybody this, and it's fascinating to me. I don't know if many people care or not, but how's your school system work there? Is it K through 6, or is it K through 5, or how
It depends. I mean, it's changed over the years, but the Catholic school that I went to, it was pre-K to 8th grade.
Okay.
Yeah. So when we left at the end of the 7th grade, and then I went and moved to Queens, that's when I went to 8th grade. I went to a new school for 1 year, and then after that, I went to high school, which was Franklin K. Lane.
So high school for you was 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th.
9, 10, 11, and 12. Correct.
Okay. All right. So 9th grade. How was your academics at that point? Were you into studies or anything?
No, I was never a really study person. You know, I was, when I was younger, it was more about just hanging out and having fun.
What did you do for fun when you were 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade?
I mean, I had a best friend that still lived in Brooklyn, and on the weekends when I lived in Queens, my mom used to bring me to my dad's house, which he lived in and still lived in Brooklyn, and I would stay there for the weekend, and I would just jump on my bike. I would ride to my buddy's house and spend the whole weekend there, and all we did was ride bicycles all over the neighborhood. That's what we did when I was younger. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It was always cool to have a cool bicycle growing up, man. Yeah. I had a red line.
So did I. Yeah.
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 I have chrome alloy, everything, man. Huh?
I have one right now. I actually.
Do you really?
I bought it.
Oh, man.
I bought it probably about a year ago from a guy in Gilbert. So
yeah,
just to bring back some little nostalgia.
Heck yeah. I'm in. I still have a swing bike from when I was in like 3rd or 4th grade of elementary school, but it needs tires and a seat, and a chain, I think. But I kept it. It was a crazy gift from my dad, and I have held on to it for 40 some years.
That's crazy.
Anyway, it is crazy. But my BMX bike, which I really cherished, got as I got older and moved away for a while, it got sold, which I was kind of bummed because I really wish I still had that.
Those bikes go for a lot of money these days.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah,
I bet they would.
I'm seeing guys having, GTs and Harrows and Mongooses. All those bikes that are restored, they're going $2,000, $3,000, $4,000.
Yeah, PK Ripper.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I used to have tough wheels, and I had a tough neck, and I had all the cool parts and add-ons on my bike, man.
You definitely had a good childhood.
Yeah. Actually, yes. Did not matter the neighborhood I was in, but it was a good childhood. So, okay. So now you're in 8th grade, and you're in high school. No. You got one. You get to 8th grade with what's it considered? Junior high?
Yes, it was considered junior high. I went to Elizabeth Blackwell for 1 year. Graduated there, and then, like I said, I went to Franklin K. Lane High School.
So, were you still traveling with the pizza and calzones at that point?
No, my grandparents actually took a back seat, and they started doing everything local within the New York area. As they got older, it was easier for them to do that. And they also, in Queens, there was, in the Aqueduct racetrack, one of the racetracks here, they used to do a flea market. So there would be all vendors and all people selling crap and stuff like that. And they had a food court. So that's what my grandparents used to do that. They would work Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday when the flea market was open. So that's how they basically finished their careers in the food service.
What's your favorite kind of pizza?
Right now?
Right now. Yeah? Any particular type or make or a brand?
New York style.
New York style. Is there a brand that you like in particular?
Well, every time I go back to Queens, and once I get off the airplane, I go to my number one spot, which is called New Park Pizza in Howard Beach, Queens. I go there, I get a pie, and I eat as much as I can.
Dude, that's amazing.
It's hard to find good pizza here.
Yeah, I bet. Because I tell you, when Kiki and I came to New York and you came into the city with us, after that, like we just walk down to the corner. It doesn't matter what pizza joint you go to in New York City or in Brooklyn, they're all good.
Yeah.
It's like if they're not good, they're not gonna last. Yeah. So figure it out, or you're out of business.
But you got 8 million people in the city, bro, that live there.
Yeah.
So people are gonna eat.
Yep. People are gonna eat.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So how was the rest of high school like?
High school was okay. I mean, you go to high school and you try to do academics, but you're hanging out with your friends and stuff like that. And I actually didn't make it through high school the whole way, so I
Yeah.
kind of left in my junior year,
Hmm.
and that's when I got my first job working as a baker in a weight loss food manufacturer. So I was making weight loss muffins, is what I was doing.
Really
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
So how many muffins would you crank out in a day?
Wow. We would, I would probably say we would probably do anywhere between 700 to 1,000, because all you're doing is you're mixing the muffin mix, you're putting it on
Hmm.
the big racks, you're putting it in the oven, taking them out, doing repeat. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Very repetitive job,
yeah,
huh?
very repetitive.
What flavor were they?
It was anything from blueberry to corn to
Mm.
basically anything that was, available. Yeah.
So what was the special ingredient that made them less calories or less fat or
I think it was just a mix.
yeah
It was a special mix that made it, a little
made
bit of a
help
weight
people
loss
lose
type.
weight?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. All right. Well, and how long did you do that for?
I probably did that for about 2 years. And then I had a stint at the local airport. I was a baggage handler for
Okay.
probably like 2 weeks. I was the guy I was the guy that was feeding the bags into the belly of the airplane. So I was crunched in the belly of the airplane and just
Shoving all that crap
stacking.
together, huh?
Yeah, I did that for
Like
about
Tetris.
2 weeks, and I'm like, I can't do this.
Yep.
I
This
can't.
is not my
No,
path.
it's not.
And how old are you at this point in time?
Man, I had to be what, 18, 19 at the time, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
And so you realize pretty quickly that you're not the guy. You know,
No.
I didn't even know how that worked until recently because of social media. I saw a video of a dude crouched up inside the belly of a
Yeah,
plane,
yeah,
stacking luggage.
yeah.
Like I just thought it all came out on a some kind of carriage belt or something. You know, like
No, there's somebody in the belly of that plane, man.
yeah,
So,
man. Are you guys good at Tetris or what? Because you got to stack that. I bet you. Do you ever get to a point where like, crap, we're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it with the luggage, or is there always plenty of room in there for the luggage?
well, they have two bays. They have one in the back and they have one in the front. So
Mhm.
you're able to get pretty much a lot in there.
Do you have to balance it out a certain way, or
No,
does
not
it matter?
really. Not really.
No?
It's just you got to stack it to try and get as much as you can in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, okay. Then you got that overweight stuff, and you're trying to put that on the top, man, and
Yeah.
that would be rough.
Well, you
Okay, so
go ahead.
no, it's all about you. I was just gonna say, I was just curious what after that when you realized that's not for me. What'd you do then?
So after that, I had a friend that worked at a mechanic shop, and he was able to get me in to this mechanic shop, which was
Mhm.
Marino's Texaco. And I mean, I started out as a gas pumper, and then I started changing oil, and then from there I
Mm.
started doing brake jobs and stuff like that. So I worked my way up,
Okay,
and I was there for about 10 years.
you were a mechanic for 10 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you change your own oil on your vehicles?
No, I do not. I do not. And
What about
then,
brakes?
no, no.
No, no, you don't
I
do
let
that
the
either.
professional do it. I'm a
All right, well,
professional.
dude, you are a professional.
Yeah, I'm a professional deck builder. I'll
Okay.
I'll give everybody else the brake jobs.
All right.
And then while I was working as a mechanic, I went to the last 2 years that I was working as a mechanic. I went to college for the College of Aeronautics to become a airplane mechanic.
Ooh,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I did that for 2 years after work. So we would work 10, 11 hours a day. And then I would, drive to the college campus and spend 3, 4 hours at night,
Mm.
learning how to, fix airplanes.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I went on vacation, fell in love with somebody, and 3 months later, I moved to Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how old are you now? You're
I am 52.
okay. Now you're 50. How old were you then?
Oh, okay. So,
10 years after
no, wait,
18,
wait,
28?
wait, wait. I had to be my late 30s at least.
Okay.
Early 30s, probably. Yeah,
Early
early
30s, late
30s.
20s, late 20s, early
Yeah,
30s.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I'm just establishing a timeline because it's always kind of cool to see what you were doing at what time in your life, you
Right,
know?
right.
So, wow, I'm still hung on the mechanic thing for a second. So what was the coolest car you ever worked on?
It was probably my boss's Acura NSX.
Oh, those
It,
are kind of cool
it was a
cars.
sports car. Yeah, he owned
Yeah.
one, and he used to let me change the oil on it and wash it. And every once in a while, I used to sneak out and drive it around the neighborhood once in a while.
Cool.
So yeah,
Hey, I
yeah,
like it.
yeah,
Good for you.
yeah.
You got to drive it. So that's cool. All right. All right. So, okay. So you went on vacation where?
We went on a Carnival cruise to Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, and I think Dominican Republic. And
Mm-hmm.
stupid me, I fell in love with this girl that I met on there, and
Wow.
we spent about 2 weeks together on the boat. And then when I came back to New York, I would fly out every 2 weeks to Miami to see her. So basically,
Wow.
after I got out of work on a Saturday afternoon, I would go straight to the airport, buy a ticket at the counter, fly there, stay over, fly back the next day, go to work on Monday. And I did that for three
Wow.
months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised you made it that long. 3 months.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Boy,
And then
you
I
were
moved,
dedicated,
and I
man.
moved there, and I was there for 2 years. Then we broke up,
Okay.
and I came back.
Okay. So you moved to Miami?
Yes, Dade County.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Been there a few times. How do you like it down there?
It's great. I mean, in the summer, the humidity is a killer.
Mm-hmm.
Every 5 minutes, it rains. But it's, Florida is Florida. I mean, Florida, you don't live there unless you're born there or you go there to retire.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. So, what did you do for work while you were down there?
I worked for Coca-Cola. I was a salesman. So basically, what I did was I would go to the Publix, the Winn-Dixies, all that stuff. I would basically take, whatever orders we needed to for the 2 liters,
Mm-hmm.
cases and stuff like that, and I would input my order. So I would usually work from about 5 in the morning to about 11 a.m. in the morning. So that was my time frame, and then I would
Oh,
have the rest of the afternoon off.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. Did that for 2
So-
years.
2 years. Did you like Coca-Cola?
They were a good company to work for. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
No, I mean the actual product.
Oh, I do. Yeah, absolutely.
I like a Coke once in a while.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely prefer Coke over Pepsi.
Do you?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. That's opinionated. But you're entitled to it, man.
absolutely.
I think I like, yeah, that's what's bizarre, is I do like Coca-Cola better than Pepsi, but I like Diet Pepsi better than Diet Coke.
Do you?
I do. I had an addiction to Diet Pepsi, though. I was drinking 2 liters a day
Wow.
for like 10 years maybe, and then I finally just gave up all carbonated beverages altogether.
Right.
I was like, this is killing me, man.
Right.
Aspartame will kill you.
Yes, it will. It will.
So you're better off drinking sugar. So wow. Okay, man, dude, you're colorful. You got a great past. I had
We're not
no
done yet. We're not done yet.
No.
No.
I know we're just going through the motion here, but that's just amazing. I had no idea that you worked for Coca-Cola. Okay, so you broke up. Womp womp.
Yep.
You said, "Forget you. I'm going back to New York."
Well, yeah, I thought about staying there, and I'm like, you know what? My family, my mom, my dad, my brothers, grandparents, everybody's back in New York. I'm going to go back to New York. So that's what I did.
Cool.
So I went back to New York, and I got
And approximately what year was that?
So when I moved to Florida, it was the day after the Yankees won the World Series in 1998. and I came back late 2001.
Okay.
That's when I came back. And then I
That
got
was like right around 9/11 then.
yeah. Let's back up.
Okay.
I came back in December of December of 2000. No, I came back in December of 2000. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Okay.
I got a job working for a food service company as a territory account manager. They're called Aramark. So basically, what we did was we would provide food services to corporate offices like
Mm-hmm.
that, like coffee, snacks, paper goods, and stuff like that. So I got a job being the territory account manager, and I had Manhattan, Queens, and Long Island as my territory.
Wow, that's pretty convenient. A nice area to have,
Yeah,
I would think.
yeah. So
Okay.
I did that, and I was with them for a while, and 9/11 happened. So 9/11 happened, and just in that small area, we
Mm-hmm.
lost over 2.5 million, $3 million in accounts. So
Mm-hmm.
since I was the last manager to be hired, I was the first one to be let go.
Yeah.
So,
Brutal.
which, listen, I understand it. It happens. You got to cut back on things. They're in
Yeah.
business. I understand it now that I've been in business since 2010. So,
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Yeah.
But that's the good thing, because for some reason, I was in Home Depot for one day, and I saw this guy that I knew, that my father was partners with in my childhood years, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm not really doing anything. I got laid off from my job." He goes, "Why don't you come build decks with me?"
Hmm.
And I'm like, "Okay." My father was, when I was younger, my father did siding, roofing, windows, doors. So
Mm-hmm.
I worked with him once in a while. So I had, idea of, the industry. So I went and I started building decks with this guy. And every day was like peeling back an onion. You're just learning and learning and learning.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent about 10 years with him.
What was the name of his company?
It was Long Island Decking out in Long Island.
Okay.
Yeah. And then in 2010, I made a decision to go out on my own. So
Cool.
yeah, and the way that I started was I had a girlfriend at the time, and she had a coworker that needed her house painted. So I told her, I says, "Listen, I'll paint the whole house. This is how much you're going to pay me," and she agreed. So I would travel, go to the house, paint it from the basement to the second floor. I got paid. I probably made about $4,000 to paint that house. I
Mm-hmm.
took $3,500, went to Home Depot and bought tools.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I just started hustling and trying to get small jobs here and there. And that's how I built Stellar Decks, out of basically the trunk and the back seat of my Jetta.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because what like where you were? You're in Brooklyn
I was in Brooklyn, I was in Queens, and
and
then
Queens.
when I started building decks, the deck business was on Long Island. So I moved to Long Island. That's how I
You
got out
did.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was a better commute for me. Um,
Okay.
and then I just stayed in Long Island building decks for him and for myself until I moved here 2.5 years ago.
Right. And so when you started Stellar Decks and you're in was accessibility ever an issue for you, depending on where you're working, as far as parking and getting materials and supplies into locations?
No, Long Island is more of a suburb type of an area. It's not like the
Mm-hmm.
five boroughs. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very easy in most part for accessibility. Very
Mm-hmm.
easy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. So over those 5 years, or so you had you worked for a guy for 10 years and Long Island Decks, and then you started Stellar Decks.
Right.
Were you still subbing out for Long Island Decks as well?
I
Or were
was
you
not.
pretty much?
No, I was
Oh,
not.
okay.
I was doing everything on my own. I've never,
Yeah.
I never subbed for anybody.
Cool.
Yeah.
So when you started Stellar Decks, how old were you?
I'm 52. I had to be at least 38, 39, somewhere around there, probably.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really awesome to be able to start something midlife,
Yes.
and make it stick.
Well, the thing is that you get tired of working dead end jobs, bro. And for all the work that you're doing, you need to work for yourself, because if you're putting in all those hours and you're making somebody else rich, why not make myself rich? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Roger that.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of us own our own companies because of that. You get the trials and the tribulations, but you also get the glory.
Yes.
If you do it right.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so during those 10 years, you already had the experience under your belt working for somebody else.
Correct.
So what was different when you went out on your own from what you were doing from working for somebody else?
It was just building differently. You have to set yourself apart from everybody else. I mean, they were stuck in their ways of, deck building from the 1970s and the 1980s, and, the deck business has evolved ever since cap composite decking has come out.
Yeah.
It has. It really has. And you got to keep up with the trends and what, people are doing and stuff like that. And you need to change and adapt in order to keep yourself relevant. You really do. And, I mean, there's a lot of talented guys out there right now. And, you got to keep up with the flow is basically what it is.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. If you're not ahead of the curve, you're behind it.
That's right. So we built things a lot differently. For me, it all starts with the frame. You got to build a great frame in order for your decking and railing to actually shine. You know what I'm saying? And so most of the time we build our frame, we overbuild our frames. But when somebody's paying money for a deck like that, you want that thing to last. You really do.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
100%. So when you first started your company, how did you figure out pricing? How did you know how much did you know how to charge somebody?
I didn't. It's just trying to just make money you're basically charging people what you think that you're going to make money on, but you're undercutting yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So one year, my accountant was like, he goes, listen, he goes, you got to start charging this much. And I'm like, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, because if you don't, you're giving your work away for free. And I took his advice and I did it. And it's been great ever since.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just told the other day I was $20,000 more than the competitor.
But there's a reason why you're $20,000 more.
Yeah. I guess he didn't see the value in it.
No.
But other people, not a lot do, but the ones that do are the people I work for.
Correct. Because a lot of people, what it comes down to is the numbers at the end of that proposal. Yep. It really is.
Yeah.
And if they could get it for $5,000 cheaper, they're going with Joe Schmo. So.
Yeah, but they're not getting the same product that they are.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, guys like us, we're Timber Tech Platinums, you know what I'm saying? And behind that platinum, we have that company that supports us and gives us, labor warranties, and we have our own warranties and stuff like that. So that's where you actually got to try and sell your value with yourself and the partner, that you're going to be there and you're not going to, build their deck and you're going to walk away and say, all right, take care. If anything happens in the future, don't call me. So.
Truth. Truth. So you had like a come to reality moment with your accountant and realizing, okay, I'm not charging enough for my work.
Right.
That's probably why I'm so busy all the time, is because I'm giving my work away for too little. And then you started. So is that when you really started dialing in on your price and figuring out?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then and maybe we'll get into some of that in our bonus episode for Patreon. I don't like to talk too much about numbers during our standard podcast, but how do you bill out? Do you bill by the square foot, or is everything a la carte? Or when somebody hires you, what are they? How do you present the proposal to
So
them?
basically, what I do is I do my appointment, take my measurements. I come back, sit on my computer. I open my deck tools, which is
Ooh.
I still
Whoa.
run deck tools because
No way.
it's very easy to lay out a deck and do a takeoff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
So I do my takeoff, and I built an Excel spreadsheet with all my materials. So I put it, it has all the pricing for what the materials are. I put in my takeoff, the amount of what I need for, decking boards, railing, fasteners, the whole 9 yards. I come up with my total, and then I add, my labor to it. It's basically, and then I get my number.
Deck tools.
Yeah.
Man, you hit a memory nerve on that one, bro.
Yeah.
I haven't used that software in 15 years. But who is it still active?
Yes, it's still active.
Who own is it owned? Is it still owned by Deck Tools, or is it owned by somebody else?
It's owned by Simpson.
Okay, so it's their deck. Is it their deck design tool, or is it still Deck Tools?
Basically, Simpson bought Deck Tools, and they were using it for a little while, and then Simpson came out with a new deck designer. So Deck Tools was just put off, in the back burner.
Yeah, yeah. Because I bought a bad boy computer one year. It was can't remember what it was, but it was like $3,500, like in mid 90s, and it ran that software like crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it was doing all the cool calculations and computations and stuff. But that particular type of software was limited.
It was.
In what you could draw. We're on real-time landscaping architect, but it won't draw framing or do any accurate framing layouts or anything like that. You got to put it in yourself, which I don't mind doing, because I like to build a deck the way I want to build it. I don't want to build it the way a computer's telling me to.
Correct.
You know, even if it is structurally whatever, mathematically, it works, but it's like, that's ugly.
Yeah.
I can't have that, like you, I was like, the frame, it's got to look good, man.
Yeah.
I can't
Frame
have this many. That's too many posts.
If it's not on point, your deck's gonna look like crap. It is.
Yep, it's out. Okay, so you're working it's Stellar Decks on Long Island.
Correct.
And you're going through your career there, and then things start getting more competitive.
Yes, things got getting more competitive, because not only when I started my business, there was probably a handful of deck builders in the area. When I left New York to come here, I would probably say there's about 15, maybe a little less than 20 deck builders in an area of like Nassau County and Suffolk County. So trying to really fight for a job because everybody's undercutting, you know what I'm saying? You're not getting your numbers, because if you come in at 25,000 for a 400 square foot deck, the other guy's coming in at 18. Who are you going to go with? The 18, So, and with COVID and everything, and you get carpenters and roofers, and everybody just wanted to build a deck. There's, if the homeowner's like, oh, I'm looking to get a deck, and they're like, oh, I could build it, so they'll give the job to him. You know what I'm
Yeah, I'll
saying?
do your bathroom and your siding
Yeah,
and your
yeah,
roof
yeah,
at the same time. We'll
yeah.
do it all.
But
We'll
your
lump it all into one big $500,000 loan.
yeah, but your deck's gonna look like crap. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
no picture framing, no. It's just no.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of customers don't realize that. They don't realize the difference between a well-built or finely built deck and one that's just average.
Yeah, it's not the 1970s no more. We're not using
Yeah.
cedar and redwood. You know, we're not
Oh,
building decks out of pressure treated, decking and railing.
right.
I mean, we're in 2026. There's the products that we have available to us is insane.
It is. I never thought when I started my business in 1991, when I was 21 years old, and I had no idea that this industry would blow up the way it has.
The way it has, yes.
No clue
Yeah,
that it would.
yeah,
It has really. I mean, there's a whole trade show around it.
yeah,
And at different industry shows, the category takes a pretty good sized chunk of the floor space for outdoor living.
hmm
And outdoor living is just it's an evolving topic, and it's always interesting to get people's take on it because there's so much that's coming, that's here, that a lot of it is come and gone, but then there's also stuff that's really stuck.
So let me ask you a question. Do you remember a deck board called ProCell?
Yep, that's AZEC.
Yes. I was building
Yeah.
decks with ProCell when they had two colors. It was a mint green and a light
Yeah.
beige.
I remember that mint green color.
Yeah.
That's when it had that stamp, that round stamp on the bottom of the board.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really embossed deep. I'm like, what's this? But it was cool. Yeah, those were the early days of PVC, but it was still a cool board.
Yeah. But
I think it chalked out quite a bit, but
it did. It got white over time. But, the people at TimberTech, they've changed it. And
oh man,
hands down, it's the best decking board out there. It really is.
yep. They keep pumping more into the technology of the board, and I think it's great. I was really concerned when, and they knew I was. They knew I was concerned when they started this recycling plant, and they wanted me to bend some boards. They wanted to put me at ease. They're like, Jason, we want to send you some materials. I'm like, yeah, please do, because I'm tripping right now. Like, you guys are messing with my livelihood here by going to this different core.
Mm-hmm.
It was a different core, and I was really concerned because I thought the core was going to make it more difficult to bend because it wasn't as pure as the core they were making it with before. But they're like investing heavily in these green recycling facilities for their product. So they sent me a bunch, and I cracked it open and went to work, and it's like, oh, this stuff bends just as good, or if not better, than your previous gen.
Yeah.
And then occasionally they'll send me like demo stuff, like stuff they're working on or that they think might. They want to make sure we don't have any issues with, like off gassing or whatever.
Mhm.
So we'll knock some of those out. But I'm really happy with everything that they've sent me as far as prototypes. It's all done very well.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool. Okay, so you're coming towards the 10-year mark in Stellar Decks, and we had this discussion several years prior to you doing it. You were telling me like, yeah, man, I think I'm going to move to Arizona. Hey, Keith, how you been? I think I'm going to move to Arizona. Like, I know you've told me that a couple times.
Yeah.
Keith and I have both been to the TimberTech Contractor Summit several times together. So we get to see each other 2 or 3 times a year, depending on who's attending what and going where and whatnot. But that was always a topic. So explain to us how that finally came about.
It finally came about, like I says, after COVID, everything, the industry just got saturated, and I needed to get out. I really did. So I would come here and visit my friend, do my homework. I should have came out here a few years earlier, but mom got sick, so I had to sit back and help, my 2 brothers with mom until she was ready to go. And then one day I'm just like, you know what? This is the time. It really is. So I had a few jobs on the calendar. I finished those jobs, basically threw out whatever I didn't want to take with me out of my apartment. I filled up my box truck and my dump trailer, and I drove out here October 13th of 2023.
You know, I could look up my cell phone right now and I could look up our conversation. I happened to just text you by chance on October 13th and said, hey, man, I don't know. I think I was just checking in. And you sent me a picture of your truck and trailer.
Yeah.
You just said, I'm on my way.
That.
I'm like, no way. That was hilarious. But I was so happy for you because seems like things turned out pretty good. But there was a little bit of a rocky start. Was it a little bit of a rocky start?
Absolutely. I mean, when you go to a new area, you know, you have to establish yourself. You know, you gotta rely on friends. And I mean, TimberTech has been, wow, they've been so supportive of me. Especially the rep that they have here, Phil Velez. That guy has been so awesome in getting me work and pointing me in the right direction with supply houses and stuff like that. So it's been great. It really has.
Networking is cool, man.
Yeah. They've definitely been the lifeline that kept me going here. That kept me
right on.
Yeah.
So when you first came to Arizona, what was your goal to become a louvered canopy installer or company? Or
I was prior to when I moved out here. I went to Structure, which is now owned by James Hardy and TimberTech and so forth. I went out to their showroom in Vegas and I took their learning class. And while I was there, I bought a 10x8 structure. I also bought a flatbed trailer. So basically what I did was I bought the flatbed trailer. I did a AZAC deck on it, and then I built the structure on the deck. And I was going to use that to do home shows and stuff like that, you know, or if somebody was interested in, you know, doing a structure, put it in the back of the truck, you know, drive it over there. Hey, this is what we got. You know, we could build them this size or we could build them bigger, you know. So that was the plan. But then mom got sick and the structure that I had here just sat in a yard for 2-3 years. And then when I came out here, I was like, great, you know, now it's time to ramp up and start selling louvered pergolas. But then when I got here, they're like, well, you can't do that because somebody already has the rights to the whole state. So, you know, all that money that I invested, almost 20 grand to build this, now you're like, you know, so.
Yeah, that's a sour note. Put a pin in that because we're definitely going to talk about that in the bonus episode because I have an opinion as well. And we're going to discuss that a little bit in deeper depth.
Okay.
And we'll talk a little bit about pricing as well because those structures aren't cheap.
They're not.
And then I can't believe what the guy that owns Washington State, I finally got a hold of one of his estimates. And I was like, man, these guys are really charging like beaucoup for them.
Yeah.
It's like, it's hard to be all in on a product when there's a dealer that's connected to it previously and they have the territory and they don't want you going out and selling their product.
No, they don't.
And they don't make you feel welcome. I have a little bit different dynamic because of who I am and what I do online, but I'm going to keep that. If you want to hear this story, you're going to have to go subscribe to our Patreon channel. You might as well just go do it now. It's only $5 a month. And then you're going to get this story on Patreon. Okay, Keith. So you came in, you had this pretty large investment, especially for just moving and like you're not generating income. You're just spending it because you're trying to create something amazing.
Right.
And then what did you decide to do once that news hit?
So I just went back to exactly what I knew, and that was deck building.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then, so basically, my friend that lived out here, that I was friends with back in New York,
Mm-hmm.
he's a landscape architect, and he got a lead on the TimberTech website because I had put him on there to generate leads while I was still in New York, so we could get leads. So when I come out here, that's how that's what I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
do. So he signs his job with doing pavers and stuff, and then we did a deck there for him as well. So that was my first project. And then my second project was from the TimberTech lead generator, which was out in Prescott Valley. So I did a collaboration with the structure person that's here in Arizona, and I built a deck. So we both worked together, building the deck and then doing the structure.
Okay. And then you realized, well, if I can't sell structure, what should I do about louvered canopies?
You go to the next available manufacturer, which is Outdoor Elements USA.
Okay.
So I became a dealer for Outdoor Elements USA. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And do they have a lead generation
They
tool
do. They
for
were
you?
sending me leads and stuff like that. But from the people that I was actually talking to on how to price out those louvered jobs, I mean, they were telling me, they were like, what you should do is calculate how much the material cost is, double the material cost, and then put your labor on top. So I would go in and I would present numbers to people, and they're looking at me like I had 5 heads.
Right. Right, because you're at $250 a square foot.
Yeah, it's crazy.
$25,000 for a 10 by 10.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that is a little crazy. Like, an Equinox used to be like $60 a square foot, and I'd charge $120, and I've done 20 or 30 of those. But if I'm not charging 200, like $180 to 200 for a structure, we're going to talk about this again more, but I was just saying, like, there's a price, and nobody's willing to help me figure that out. Like, where's the, and okay, and then if you're going to tell me how much to charge for this, that means you're telling me how much I'm going to make.
Right.
And what if that doesn't align with what I want to make building these things?
Right.
No? Okay. Okay, Keith. So how long have you been in Arizona now?
2.5 years.
All right. And are there just certain days where you're like, I am not working today because it's like 113 degrees?
Yeah. Anything higher than 110.
Yeah. Is that your cutoff?
Just about. Yeah. I mean,
so will you go to work for like 4 hours and then
basically
cut out?
What we do is, so we don't have daylight savings time here. So
good for you.
Our clocks don't change. So it's the only states that do that is Hawaii and Arizona. So in the summer at 6 o'clock in the morning, it's daylight already. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you start early in the summer months. You get out there and you're working at 6. And then usually by 12 o'clock, you're wrapping up. Because
where I live, we have an ordinance. We can't start banging nails until 7 a.m.
We don't have an ordinance. We don't.
I can see why.
Because of that temperature in the summer. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Do you ever consider getting a misting system? I've done homemade ones before.
Well, I went out and bought, one of those fans from Home Depot that, throws out mist. So, you put that next to your chop box and, when you're cutting, you're getting cool. You have to have pop-up tents, what I'm saying? You got to have some type of shade.
Yeah. I mean, your chargers must overheat, and your batteries and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's just like in the winter when I was in New York, you working in 20-degree weather, you can't charge a battery. It doesn't work. Over here, when things get too hot, they shut down.
Yeah. Including you.
Yes, absolutely.
So let me ask you this, Keith. And I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask you anyways. would you rather work in the coldest day in New York or the hottest day in Arizona?
Hottest day in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would too, because I've done both, man. I mean, it gets hot in Washington too. As a matter of fact, Tacoma was once the hottest place on earth for one time, and it was like 113 degrees or 118 degrees or something like that. But like 80% humidity, you could barely breathe. It was crazy hot.
Yeah. Well, you guys have humidity there, right?
Yeah.
We don't have any humidity.
Yeah, I know. I lived in Tucson for a short stint, and it was pretty nice. Except those rain squalls are crazy, and all their arroyos fill up full of water, and like people are getting washed away, and their cars are. I don't know. It's crazy, but yeah. So I think I'm with you because you can still feel your fingers and your toes and your nose when it's hot. But working I don't know how those guys in Michigan are doing it, man. In Minnesota. Like, I know it's a different kind of snow. It's a different kind of cold. I mean, but still.
Our buddy, Mark, King from Infinite Decks, that guy is out in 10 degrees or 10 degrees.
He is a beast.
Below zero. He's out there working. I don't know how
wind chill will kill you, man. I don't either. I guess maybe you're born in it. So here's a fact. Here's a fun fact. Mark King was our very first guest on this podcast.
Okay.
And you're very good friends with Mark King.
We're our best friends. We speak every single day.
I'm jelly. I love you. I love you both. And Keith, to take this full circle, you are our 52nd guest on the Dr. Dex podcast, which is 1 year of completed Calvin, high five. Yeah, I just high five Calvin because it's like I didn't know how this was, how people would receive this, or if anybody would listen, or it's really tough to start a podcast from scratch and get traction with it.
Right.
And are we getting any traction on it? No. And see, we're still not after a full year, but the people that listen to it actually do enjoy it. So we're just going to keep plugging along until otherwise notified.
All right,
Cal?
Let me know whenever you're ready.
Yeah. How are we doing on time?
Keep going until I tell you.
Okay, keep going. The editor in chief says we have to keep going. So okay, so how's the last year gone for you?
The last year has been really great. We did quite a few projects last year, large ones and small ones. But a lot of it we're gaining track right now because I've been investing a lot of money into advertising from paper to Google to Facebook ads. In the month of April, we are going to be running a radio ad. So we're going to do some radio ads. And I actually hired a marketing team to do videos on a lot of the really good projects that we're going to be doing in the future. So we're going to be able to put those videos together, put them on Facebook, and just throw money at it and try to get people through that way.
Are you running a team of people right now, or do you have a partner in the business? Or
nah, no partners. I'll never do a partner. It's always me. It's myself, and I have 2 workers.
Okay.
So
hey, sounds familiar to me, man.
I still wear the belt. I still build everything. The only thing I don't do is dig holes and mix concrete. That's it.
Okay.
I'm done with
You need a mud mixer.
Yeah.
You need a mud mixer. And then you'll be good.
I'm getting one.
Good. They're cool. They're a cool tool. They are a little cumbersome, but 2 guys can pull it off a truck. And I get a lot of hate. I'll get 100,000 views on a mud mixer video, but I'll get 50% of the people that see it are like, this is the biggest waste of time. 3 days later, but dude, I'm serious. You can mix a pallet of concrete in an hour.
Yeah.
And all you got to do, once you have it dialed in at the right slump, you just keep throwing bags on top. That's and it. Just keep moving. The
machine does the work for you.
Yeah. And it just comes out perfect.
You're not like you're rowing a boat. You know what I'm saying?
And you're not dumping the bags into a spinning drum.
Yeah.
You're just dumping them onto the top of a hopper, and then the auger spins and sprays the water, and it just kind of mixes it all together. Right, and you know what's funny? I noticed this year, and I don't know if it's just the seasons or what, but we had to use more water to get it to slump properly in the winter than we were in the summer, which I thought would be opposite of that. But I don't know why. I'm going to pay closer attention to this. I might even do a video on it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting how that works. I'd be curious to hear from you how, once you get it, like what's your optimal mix, like, and does it change throughout the year? Your weather, it's like mostly like tepid to warm in the winter, and then it's hot in the summer.
In the winter, we're at 60 to 70 degrees every day.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it drops down to 40 overnight, but
so what?
To this East Coast boy, I'll wear shorts at 40 degrees at night. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But and everybody that's been here for 20 years, they're like, they're dressed up in goose down jackets and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, that's funny.
For 9 months,
you never know. You might get soft. Yeah. You better look out.
For 9 months
Keith.
out of the year, this place is amazing. It really is.
That's cool, man. And then you just go to Prescott when it gets too hot.
When it gets too hot. Prescott,
good for
Sedona,
you.
Flagstaff. Yeah.
How far is Prescott from where you're located?
An hour.
That's not bad.
No,
that's not bad. Because I remember I was in Tucson and we drove there once, and it took longer than that.
Well, Tucson from me is 2 hours.
Yeah, so it was like a 3.5 hour drive. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, crazy. Well, Keith, I can't believe it, but we're out of time.
Okay.
So if you want to hear more from Keith Camacho with Stellar Decks, you got to go over to our Patreon and subscribe, guys. Keith, how do we get a hold of you if we have any questions for you, or if we want to hire you, or somebody hears or sees this podcast and they want to get more information from you?
Well, you can reach me through the website at stellardecks.com. My email address is stellardecks@gmail.com. I am always on my phone or computer, so whenever I see a message or a submission come through from the website, I'm on it right away.
Awesome. Keith, thank you so much for being on the Dr. Dex podcast. Calvin, hit that music, and we'll see you next time, guys. Have a great one.
Thank you.
Over and out.
Take care.